All right, get ready for this one because today we are diving deep into, you guessed it, Rosé's unreleased track, Toxic Till the End.
Oh, yeah. This will be good.
And we've got this like super in-depth analytical review that like breaks down not just the lyrics, but it also like speculates about the music, the visuals,
Oh, wow.
and even the song's cultural impact. Like,
Yeah, that's a big one.
it's going to be a big one. So
Yeah.
it's really fascinating.
It is. It is.
How this review just like
Yeah.
dives into all these complexities of the song, you know,
Right.
going way beyond just like the surface.
The surface level, yeah.
Yeah,
It really explores how all these different elements might like come together to create this powerful and multi-layered artistic statement.
I am so struck by the title Toxic Till the End.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's just this
For sure.
sense of finality to it, right?
Yeah.
This recognition that this relationship was just doomed.
Doomed from the start.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting how that phrase repeats throughout the song.
It is.
It's like almost like a mantra.
Right.
Highlighting the, you know, that cyclical nature of toxic relationships.
Oh, yeah.
And how hard it is to break free.
Yeah.
I think, sadly, a lot of listeners
for sure
might relate to that feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was really drawn to the line,
Okay.
jealous and possessive, so manipulating.
Oh, yeah.
Like it feels like Rosé is just laying out the hallmarks of toxic behavior.
Straight up.
Yeah.
In a really raw and direct way.
Yeah. And she uses those really specific words, jealous, possessive, manipulating.
Right.
Like these aren't just like abstract concepts. They're like
they're
tangible
behaviors that people have experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, so many people have experienced this.
Sadly.
In unhealthy relationships, and by like naming them so explicitly, she's giving a voice to those experiences.
Sure.
Yeah, and there's this like real sense of conflict in the lyrics too. She talks about like wanting to escape, but then she says, even when I said it was over, you pulled me in closer.
Oh, wow.
Like, what do you think she's trying to
with that push and pull,
convey with that push and pull?
I think that speaks to like how complex unhealthy attachments are.
Yeah.
Like leaving a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
It's rarely simple.
No.
You know, there can be this like strong urge to stay, even when you know it's not good for you.
Right.
It's this cycle of breaking free and then being pulled back in. And I think Rosé like captures that really well in those lyrics.
Yeah, and the raw emotion in that line, I'll never forgive you for my wasted years.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like so powerful, and it makes me think about, you know, what comes after these toxic relationships, like that long process.
The healing.
Yeah, of healing. And
reclaiming yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of...
I hear a lot of anger. Resentment in that line. But I also hear like this determination. You know, it's recognizing the damage, but not letting it define you.
Right.
Moving forward and like reclaiming your own narrative.
Absolutely. So the review spends a lot of time like speculating about the music.
Oh, really?
Even though like...
Yeah, it's not out yet.
It's not officially out yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like curious, like what are your thoughts on how the music might reflect these themes?
I think given, you know, what the song's about,
Yeah.
it's safe to say Rosé's going to use the music to like really emphasize those emotions.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about how she might like play with different musical elements.
Right.
You know, maybe strip down vulnerable verses where her voice can really shine.
Yeah.
And then like these big explosive choruses that like reflect the chaos of the relationship.
Yeah. I think that'd be really interesting to hear how she does that.
Definitely. And her vocal style could play a big part too.
Oh, yeah.
Think about how she can go from like delicate and ethereal to like powerful and raw.
Yeah.
That could be a great way to like show that emotional roller coaster that's in the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And speaking of choices, the review also like speculates about the visuals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, Rosé's past music videos,
they've been so visual.
They've been so visually rich and symbolic.
Yeah.
So like, what kind of imagery
do
you think might be effective in conveying these themes?
I imagine with a title like that, a dark and muted color palette could be powerful, you know, visually mirroring that bleakness, that toxicity, and then maybe some imagery of like entrapment.
Oh, interesting.
Like locked doors or like confined spaces. that could, reflect that feeling of being stuck.
Yeah.
In that destructive cycle.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
What
real.
about those TI rings?
Oh,
they keep coming up.
What about those? I'm wondering if those rings could like symbolize something deeper, like a broken promise or like
right, or like
the weight of painful memories,
Objects can take on so much meaning.
Oh, for sure.
In relationships.
Yeah.
And those rings could be like this strong visual representation of like broken trust.
Yeah.
Or the pain of the past.
Yeah, that's really...
Lingering pain.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And it's exciting to think about the choreography, too.
Oh, yeah.
Rosé's such a...
She's an amazing dancer.
Dynamic, expressive dancer.
Yeah, she's so good.
Could we see movements that, like, reflect the struggle?
Yeah.
And, like, that eventual release from the relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, dance can be such a powerful tool
for
expressing things that words can't.
Right.
I imagine the choreography would be, like, a journey, starting with constrained movements, showing that feeling of being trapped, and then like evolving into more expansive, freeing movements.
Yeah.
The song goes on.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Now, let's like shift gears a bit and consider like Rosé's identity as a K-pop idol.
Okay.
The review highlights how significant it is for her to like address a topic like toxicity.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to get your perspective on that.
It is a bold choice.
Yeah.
Especially like thinking about K-pop.
Yeah.
Which often has those like idealized narratives.
Yeah.
So for her to go into something so raw and personal.
Yeah.
It definitely like a departure from that.
Yeah. And it makes me think about like what kind of impact this could have on her fans. A lot of them might be young.
Right.
And maybe even
grappling with their own
relationship challenges.
Relationship stuff, yeah. This is a chance for her to connect with her audience on a much deeper level by sharing her own vulnerability and exploring these like darker themes. It's like creating a space for her fans. To feel seen, understood. It could be a really powerful message of like validation and hope for people who've been there.
Right. It also like raises these questions about like the evolution of K-pop itself. Like, is this a sign that the genre is becoming more open to addressing these like complex and challenging themes?
Right.
And what does that mean for its global audience?
Yeah, that's an interesting trend to watch.
Right.
As K-pop keeps gaining popularity globally, there is this like growing expectation for artists to like engage with more mature topics. Rosé's decision to explore this topic could be like a reflection of that shift. It'll be interesting to see how fans in the industry react to it.
So we've talked about the lyrics and music, the visuals, and even the cultural context. It's clear that Toxic Till the End could be really powerful and impactful.
Yeah.
But before we jump into like the sociological implications, I think it's time to like really take a closer look at the lyrics. And like unpack what Rosé is really trying to say.
I agree. The lyrics are at the heart of it.
Yeah.
And a deeper look into like her word choices and phrasing, I think will reveal even more about the complexities of the relationship and the healing she's showing.
Yeah. All right.
Let's like really get into those lyrics.
Okay.
One thing that jumps out at me is Rosé's use of like vivid imagery and metaphors.
Oh, yeah.
Like, take that line. We built our castle on sinking sand.
Oh, yeah.
Such a powerful image of a relationship.
Right.
Built on like an unstable foundation.
Yeah, and that just...
destined to crumble.
Yeah, it's not just that it's bad, it's that it was like flawed from the start.
Yeah, like fundamentally flawed.
Yeah, and there's this sense of like inevitability to its demise.
And that line, we were playing with fire, knew we'd get burned.
Yeah.
It shows self-awareness.
Yeah.
Almost like they both like knew it was toxic.
Yeah, they were both complicit.
Exactly. It wasn't just like one person hurting the other. It was this like shared responsibility, a choice to be in this like destructive dance. And that's what makes it so interesting. It's not like this simple victim-villain story. It's like more complex than that.
Yeah, it's much more
looking at how two people can get trapped in that cycle.
It also makes me think about the role of like denial in these relationships.
Right.
The line, blinded by the light, we couldn't see the end. Like, it suggests they were so
caught up.
Yeah, caught up in the intensity that they like missed
the red flags.
Yeah, all the red
Denial's powerful, especially when you're scared to face the truth.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to hope things will change than to accept that it's like not a healthy relationship.
Yeah, it's so much easier to just like pretend it's not happening.
And I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
There's also this like sense of longing and regret in the lyrics, that line. Now we're just ghosts of what we used to be.
Oh, wow.
It's just like so haunting, and it makes me think about the loss.
Yeah.
Not just for the relationship, but like for who they were.
Who they were before.
Before the toxicity, you know?
It shows how these experiences can change you.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you don't realize till it's too late.
Yeah.
And that feeling of loss, like mourning who you were, can be a huge part of healing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But even with like all the regret, there's this like little glimmer of hope in the final chorus.
Yeah.
You know, I'm breaking free from your chains. Finally, I can breathe. Like, it suggests this
freedom.
Yeah, this newfound freedom.
Empowerment.
And empowerment, yeah.
That's such a powerful moment.
Yeah.
Like this declaration of independence.
Yeah, it's like she's...
It shows how resilient we are. Like our ability to rise above even the toughest times. And that's important, especially for listeners who might be going through something similar.
Yeah, it's this reminder that...
Right, there's...
the light at the end of the tunnel.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
Healing is possible.
Possible.
And that we all have that strength to break free.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not even just about like
it's
leaving the relationship. It's about like
reclaiming yourself,
reclaiming your identity,
your worth.
Yeah,
learning from it, and choosing to create something healthier, more fulfilling.
So speaking of like creating a future, let's talk about the like bigger social impact of a song like this. We touched on like how important it is for a K-pop idol like Rosé to talk about this. But I'm curious, like, what kind of conversations do you think this will like spark?
I think it could open up some really important dialogues like within the K-pop community. And even beyond that, it normalizes talking about toxic relationships. Takes away the stigma of getting help and encourages like empathy and understanding for people who are struggling.
It's also interesting to think about like how it might resonate with listeners from like different backgrounds. Obviously, the K-pop context is unique, but toxic relationships...
it's universal.
Everyone's human experience.
It goes beyond culture. And that's the power of art. It can connect us through shared experiences and emotions. Even if we come from completely different places.
Yeah, that's so true.
It
makes me think about like how music can be this like catalyst for
social change.
Social change. Like artists have this platform, and when they use it to talk about difficult things, it can have a huge impact.
A ripple effect.
Yeah, a ripple effect. It can raise awareness, challenge like societal norms, and inspire people to either get help or to support others who are struggling.
And with K-pop, which is global, that impact's even bigger. Think about all the fans around the world listening to this song, connecting with it. It could start conversations that wouldn't have happened otherwise.
It's exciting to think that this could like
it could empower
young people, especially
young people, recognize those signs.
Recognize the signs of toxicity. And to get help if they need it.
That's so important for young listeners, you know, experiencing this for the first time. A song like this can be really validating. It tells them they're not alone. These experiences are real. And there's no shame in like reaching out for help.
Now, while the song itself is like super powerful, I think it's also important to like acknowledge that art has its limits.
Of course.
And it comes to like addressing these complex social issues.
Music can do a lot. Raise awareness, spark conversation. But it can't solve the problem.
Right. It can't solve the problem of toxic relationships, like, on its own.
Yeah.
It's important to have, like, resources and support systems for people who are going through it.
Yeah, that's where, like, organizations, therapists, support groups come in.
Yeah.
They can provide the guidance and emotional support that people need.
To navigate these situations.
Yeah, exactly. It's about having a multifaceted approach.
Right.
Combining art with practical support from, like, professionals, and communities that are, like, dedicated to this issue.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've talked about, like...
We've covered a lot.
The lyrical depth, the potential musical and visual impact, the cultural context, and the broader social implications. It's clear that Toxic Till the End is more than just a song.
Yeah.
It's like this cultural artifact that has the potential to, like, start meaningful conversations and inspire change.
It shows how much Rosé has grown as an artist and how she's willing to use her platform to address tough topics.
It'll be interesting to see how this song keeps resonating with people and shaping the conversation about toxic relationships.
Yeah, in the years to come.
In the years to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've, like, really unpacked a lot here.
We have.
From the lyrics to the, like, broader social impact this song could have.
Definitely.
But I keep coming back to this, like, idea of self-discovery that seems to, like, run through Toxic Till the End.
It's definitely there, like...
Throughout the song, there's this sense of Rosé, like, peeling back those layers, confronting hard truths about herself and the relationship. It's, like, this journey of self-reflection, coming to terms with, like, the choices she made, and ultimately taking back control.
Yeah, and it's not even just, like,
it's not just
escaping the toxicity. It's also about, like, understanding how she got there.
Exactly.
Like, there's this one line that really got me. Lost in the mirror, couldn't recognize my own stare.
Oh, wow.
Like, that feels like she's talking about how toxic relationships
they can really
like mess with theirs.
Distort our sense of self.
It's such a powerful image.
It is.
Of how we can, like, lose ourselves in those situations.
Yeah.
The gaslighting, the manipulation, the emotional drain.
It all chips away at your
self-esteem.
Self-esteem. Makes you question everything.
Yeah.
So it's like this process of, like, erosion.
Yeah.
And Rosé captures it so well.
And yet, even with all that loss of self, there's still this, like, underlying strength and resilience. Like, the line, "I'm rising from the ashes stronger than before."
Oh, yeah.
It speaks to, like, this process.
Transformation.
Yeah, of transformation.
Finding power in the pain.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even in, like, the darkest moments, we can still, like...
We can still grow.
Grow and heal.
Heal from it. It might leave scars.
Yeah.
But it can also give you a new sense of, like, self-awareness and resilience.
Yes. Like,
it's about taking those broken pieces and building something stronger.
Yeah.
More real.
It makes me think about, like, that idea of post-traumatic growth. Oh, yeah.
Like, how we can actually come out of trauma with, like, a greater appreciation for life.
Right, or, like, deeper connections.
Yeah. And a, like, renewed sense of purpose.
It's a great connection.
Yeah.
The song doesn't, like, shy away from the pain, but it also shows that there's a chance for growth in the aftermath.
That's not about, like, glorifying the struggle.
No, it's about recognizing that potential for transformation.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Toxic Till the End, I'm, like, left with this feeling of hope.
Yeah.
Even though, like, the subject matter is pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's a song that, like, doesn't give you all the answers, but it does make you think about your own experiences, your own patterns, and how we can, like, break free from those toxic cycles and create
healthier relationships.
And it reminds us that, like, healing is it's a journey.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Not a destination.
Not a destination. There will be, like, setbacks. Yeah. And, like, lingering pain. But we have the power.
We do.
To choose ourselves.
Yeah.
To put our well-being first and to create a future.
Yes.
Where we can, like, thrive.
Thrive, not just survive.
Yeah.
Powerful message.
It is, and I have a feeling this song's gonna, like,
oh yeah,
really resonate with a lot of people.
I think so.
So, what are your final thoughts for our listeners as they go out and, like, experience Toxic Till the End for themselves?
Yeah. I would say approach it with an open mind and be ready for whatever it might bring up. Let the lyrics, like, wash over you, feel the emotions, and use it as a chance to reflect.
Yeah, like, what resonates with you? What patterns do you see in your own life?
Yeah.
And most importantly, what can you do to build healthier relationships?
That's such a good point. This song isn't just, like,
it's not just
entertainment. It's like this invitation
it is.
To have a deeper conversation.
With yourself.
Yeah, with ourselves and
in the world.
The world around us.
Exactly. And remember, you're not alone. There are resources, people who get it.
Yeah.
Communities ready to support you.
Absolutely.
So take what you've learned from this deep dive. Go listen to Toxic Till the End.
Yeah.
And let's keep talking about this.
Let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah.